everybody, and welcome back to the final best of 3 of the day. Winner bracket semifinals number 2. Against all authority, FnaticMSI.
I can't stop smiling.
Oh man, that last best of 3, freaking ridiculous. I've been in games where the next eye actually blew up at the same time. You need to go like watch a screenshot of like which one died first. Like, I've been in those games, and these were closer than a game that was literally tenths of seconds apart. What? Wow. Ridiculous games. I talk with my hands. I saw that before. I just flail about randomly. That's how I express myself. Ridiculous games.
Absolutely amazing. And obviously that's only one of the upper bracket semi-finals.
Yeah.
And we've got a lower bracket, and we've still got an upper bracket final and a grand final. There's still so many awesome games possibly to come in this tournament.
Yeah.
Possible heart failure incoming. So let's have a look at the brackets anyway and see how they stand right now. Obviously we've just seen that first one. That first game with Against All Authority making their way into the upper bracket final. We're going to be concentrating now on Epik Gaming versus Fnatic, the second upper bracket semi-final. And of course, the winner will go through into that upper bracket final and guarantee themselves a top 3 position.
Indeed. So yeah, right away, Team Sullivan must fight to stay alive. Epik versus Fnatic is a repeat of a match that we saw yesterday. Basically, it was the roughly the third match of the day where Epik came out on top pretty handedly, actually. I thought they did really well. It was a close game for a little while, but they really started to pull it out. But now Fnatic has their full starting 5. The storyline we've been talking about is how PK's flight was delayed, and he's their star AP mage player.
Yeah.
And without him, they faltered quite a bit. They went 1-2 in the group. Not too great for Fnatic, but they came back, smashed CLG 2-0 in games that honestly weren't really that close, and it kind of hurt me to see that, but I'm super enthusiastic about the semifinal match. Epik went 3-0. They haven't lost a map yet. They barely lost a map even in the North American finals, finally losing to Team Solamid 2-0, and the very, very last match is there. But, I mean, Epik's super strong. They beat AAA yesterday in a pretty deciding fashion. They beat Fnatic super hard, but Fnatic really, really ready to go. They've got such great players and such great teamwork. I don't know, this could really, really go either way.
This game is really going to be amazing. I can't really say that enough. I hope that we see all 3 games.
Oh yeah.
Obviously. The more that we get to see, the more awesomeness is to be had. But Freak, what's your kind of prediction for this one going forward before we start?
So I got my prediction right last time that AAA would win. Joe got every single game wrong last time.
I am a curse for any team that I bet towards.
So I'm going to be honest, I really like this US-EU storyline, so I actually want Epik to win, so that upper bracket finals, US-EU, lower bracket finals, or not lower bracket finals, but lower bracket semis, US-EU as well, so I hope Epik wins. That said, I want the first 2 games to be split. No matter what, I want to see a game 3. I keep getting the shorter matches where Daniel and Rivington get to lose their voices because the games that we cast here, right, 1 and done, teams out, they get to cast 2 0s or 2 1s, so I'm really, really hoping for 2-1 here. I don't know, I think Fnatic's actually too good. I think actually, in actuality, Fnatic's going to take this one away.
Yeah, and since you want Epik to win this one, I guess I should want Fnatic to win. Therefore, I'll predict a 2-0 victory for Epik.
No, I wanted a 2-1. Why are you trying to hate on me?
No. My curse is there, so yeah, 2-0 Epik.
I hate you a little bit right now. I'd
like to see the third game,
sad,
if I'm honest, but, I got to lay my curse somewhere, and not on Fnatic today. I seem to have cursed them enough throughout this tournament. But, we saw PK playing a little bit earlier on. Freak's got his sad face on now.
I can't forgive you for this. If they lose 2-0, it's your fault, and I can never forgive you.
I even got you a drink before this one, just to to calm you down for this moment.
But now knowing you might have poisoned it.
It's possible. There were a few threads.
I'm watching you.
There were a few threads earlier in the tournament saying, "Why does Joe hate Freak?" Which I'm not sure where that came from, but yeah. So watch out.
Yeah. So we have given the players the all-ready. This game could go underway very, very shortly. Fnatic versus Epik. Epik will have the first pick choice here. They're going to be blue team. They're going to have first ban, first pick. Teams know that English is hard. The teams know that we are ready. I have not seen any chat back and forth from these guys just yet. I can look over kind of and see that they're mostly sitting down, talking amongst each other. They're going to prepare their picks and bans. I'm really, really, really expecting Rumble to get banned out. I know that the players were certainly trying to practice in the weeks leading up to this event. Do you think we're going to... So, let me phrase it differently. What kind of bans do you think we're going to see?
I think it's really hard to tell. We saw, obviously, Shushi being a massive player, I think, for Fnatic throughout this tournament. PK, we saw him earlier playing Swain, really amazingly. So maybe those two is where the focus is going to be for Epik in terms of the bans. I think that Epik will, like you say, take Rumble straight out of there without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
As we've seen in almost, or maybe even every single EU versus North America game. In terms of Fnatic's bans, West Rice, maybe a bit of a target there, and Dyrus, obviously they're going to ban Singed.
Okay, and we are underway into the picks and bans. Sauce is the first one there. You're right, the Singed from Dyrus. There we go, first ban Rumble. High five, you got it right. Yes, okay, so far Joe actually has one correct prediction so far in this game. We're going to count them. The Vladimir ban actually is going to be early on there. That's aimed at Salsi, their star mage player on Epik Gaming, and yeah, that's probably a pretty smart one, ban out that mage. He's kind of not someone you really want to be fighting against. And let's see, what are they going to go for? The Needly ban, yes indeed, no one on Epik does play Needly, but I believe it's, was it? I don't even know that Shushi or PK really played Needly that much. I know Shushi is definitely known for that Gragas, PK known for that Swain. Slightly, off main. These are the ones that are not normally banned out right away. Normally it's mages like Vladimir and even Malzahar and Karthus and Anivia that get kind of pushed around. But interesting, the Taric ban. I don't think we've actually seen Taric banned in quite some time. If ever, I'm sure someone can come back and tell me, no, you're a noob. He was banned like 7 times. Why are you blind? But it's really one of the first few times we've seen a support that wasn't Sona banned out in these games. So Taric is gone. Sona, though, still in there. I'm kind of intrigued by that one, though. That is really aimed at that double lift playing that support role down there. Twisted Fate banned out. Epik, again, not a team that plays TF. They really don't play some of these mages in here, which is, I guess, a little bit too bad. You look at CLG and, Big Fat LP, a great Twisted Fate player, Hotshot GG, a great Needly player, and these are these sort of specialized champions that you have to be good at the champion to play them. Whereas, someone like Malzahar, Vladimir, you can be more of a generalist mage player and still do well with them. But Needly and Twisted Fate really are very skill-based. You really have to learn those champions specifically, and it's kind of a shame there that they don't get to pick those out. And the final ban here going to be Corgi, again, aimed at West Rice. So Akali's still in, so we might see that one out. Double Lift still hasn't gotten to play Poppy Poppy so far this game. But here we go. NA style of play showing up. First pick onto Vayne, and she's been very, very commonly popular, and that's going to go onto West Rice most likely in this series.
Yeah, so Fnatic getting their first 2 choices. Predictions?
Jungle Nunu and the Mage. Yeah. Mage probably, I'm thinking Vladimir, maybe Gragas. Oh no, the Janna. Okay, so the support pick is Janna, so I was guessing a jungler there. There we go, the Alistar and Janna. Interesting. So with both of those being picked up, that can't really both be bottom lanes. That might be a jungle cow. Cyanide is the jungler on the team. He's already got Smite down there. Yeah, I mean, that could really be it. I don't think they're going to go for AP Janna by any means, so Janna's going to babysit someone at bottom lane. They're certainly not going for Roamer because of that, which means Alistar, I think, has to be... Actually, no, because Shushi plays AP Alistar. Yeah, he can solo top his AP Alistar and do great. Yeah,
and I guess Janna will go on to Melisande, who's normally playing support in the Fnatic team.
Yeah, so that's going to be the pretty standard one there. So the ban on Taric, the first early grab on Janna, that's going to still leave Sona and Soraka open, even Zillion as well. And there's the jungle pickup, double lift grab in that Nunu right there. West Rice will probably be playing Vayne. I still want to see them go back to the strategy they used back in the NA finals, where they went double carry. They had, although it was Corki solo top and then Misfortune duoing bottom with Taric, but Vayne is not a great 1v1 champion. She really kind of wants that babysitter there. She's a bit frail, and without really a good solo available range DPS. Okay, there we go. West Rice going to grab on Jarvan the 4th, J4, Jarmander, whatever you want to call him there. He's got a lot of nicknames there, and that's going to be... Actually, I don't even know who plays tanky DPS on that team, really. That's kind of interesting to me.
Dyrus?
Yeah, I guess Dyrus would be the player for that. Yeah, he does play Singe, but normally you see him push down into the support role, and then actually Double Lift does it too. Double Lift, I know, plays Poppy and Garen, so yeah, not quite completely certain on the roles there for Epik, but certainly 3 great champions so far picked up. Looks like even though the jungler was just taken with Nunu, Shushi is going to grab a Mumu for them right away. They're just going to grab those junglers up there, and they're not really in a rush to take any roles. They're actually going to leave their last solo slot open, actually. They're going to have Ashe on a bottom lane. It's a great lane right there. Mumu in the jungle. AP Alistar going to be soloing top or mid, and their last solo is still going to be open. And so really no one's rushing to grab mages this game. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, almost all the mages are in.
Yeah, since you've already had the Nunu pick from Epik, it surprised me a little that Fnatic would get a Mumu in this slot rather than just, taking that last person first, if that makes sense. You know, rather than getting the obvious one. But we'll see now what Epik go for.
I guess they're using it to counterpick because they could go someone like Malzahar and really go for like an anti-tank strategy, or they could grab Karthus if they're going to player for that. Or PK could wait to see if he has a Swain comp. If they go another 2 melees, he can grab Swain really easily. There's no really melee support left as Tarek is gone. But yeah, there's a couple of good counterpick mages still available, so we might see wait and see how that one goes down. Certainly, probably not going to see Gragas this game because Shuche is going to be on that AP Alistair. So it's basically we're waiting on what PK is going to play. Epik right now, they're waiting for the last 2 picks right now. Soraka is a support of choice. That's pretty standard. Although Sona though has been the really highly contended support recently. In these games we've seen so far today and yesterday, and they're going for Soraka instead. And I know Dyrus really does hate playing Soraka, but he gets that champion a lot anyway. And, oh, Sauce going to be on Swain. Okay, I see that.
Yep, so Soraka and Swain, the final 2 picks there for Epik. And now we'll see what Fnatic complete their lineup with. Malzahar. And Malzahar. Yeah, no real big surprise there. And obviously they're just going to switch around in these 2 minutes that they have before the game will go live. Yeah.
And this is a great crowd control heavy team from Fnatic. It's a little bit strange to see, you know, solo lane Alistair, AP Alistair. It's kind of cool to see how these teams specialize because Fnatic loves AP Alistair, and then Game DE with Xylor was playing jungle Alistair, and then North American teams, specifically CLG, was doing a lot of roam Alistair. TSM does that as well on a special. So it's kind of cool to see this champion like just take any one of these given roles randomly, just depending on what the team likes to do with that champion. But we're going to see AP Alistair, so the double AP, you know, Alistair and Malzahar, they have really great everyone on this team has a stun of some sort, or some hard crowd control. You know, John, the lesser of the 5, you know, it's a knockup, but it's a fairly short knockup. Meanwhile, Epic's got a great babysit bottom lane that can farm out really, really hard. And Jonna can't heal the damage that they end up doing. So they could actually push onto this Ashe pretty well and do great. Saul's going to have a pretty good mid lane against Malzahar. I should be able to sustain himself and get some free harass down there. Dandin in the jungle is going to do probably better than a Mumu. Typically, we do see those Nunus do play very aggressively, steal some of these jungle minions. They do quite well for themselves. But that team fight on Fnatic is just huge. It's a huge team fight.
I think it's a really great pick out from Fnatic here. I mean, it's nothing, you know, unusual in itself. It's kind of you know, a standard but really well-rounded lineup that they've gone in for there. You may see Epik struggle with that. I mean, I guess Dyrus against Shushi on that top lane is going to be not the most interesting lane to watch, most probably. You know, both of them fairly resilient. Yeah, plenty of escape methods and, you know, survivability. So I guess that's not really going to be where we're seeing most of the action. But, you know, that bottom lane will be interesting to see how you know, Lamia, Westrise go head to head. We've seen some great AD play from Westrise over the tournament. Same from Lamia actually, who really picked things up after day 1. But it looks like we're going to be getting into the game here momentarily.
Indeed we are. So the game is now hitting the loading screen. Dyrus was in fact playing the tanky DPS right there. He's going to be the Jarmander. And Dandin going to be jungling as he has this entire series. This time he is on Nunu. He doesn't seem to get Nunu very much in these games, but he's got him now, and he's going to do the best he can. And yes, we're bringing back the very best he can meme from the NA final. I seem to have about 4 catchphrases that I rotate, and I'm gonna go with this one for this game. The best he can is going to be mine. Melisande with Clairvoyance going to go ahead and try to find those ganks out there in the CV around the jungle and see if they can get any opening aggression. But none of these teams seem to have really gone for these early level 1 team fights. Looking at the standings here, though, I think the level 1 advantage is definitely the Fnatic. Ashe's going to have the auto crit arrow and a lot of stuns with the rest of that team here. But we are now underway into this first game. We have hit that match. We're going to follow Dyrus out. So everyone, please give a round of applause for the final best of 3. Best of 3 number 2, semifinals winner bracket. Round of applause, everyone. Going into this game now. Let's go. And like always, I am following Vayne out of the base. Seem to always just happen to follow Vayne. Just seems to be the champion. She's always going to be in those fights. Does you know, among the most damage across all the champions. And Yeah, she's one of those great ranged carry picks that just churns out damage, and she's really special because she's kind of a win more champion, where she scales super hard, and her passive allows her to chase champions around. She basically just gains free movement speed if she's following someone, and so if you're starting to pull ahead in a team fight, and the enemy team starts running away, she's going to really start picking up and getting a lot of kills out there, throws out tons of damage, and she's going to be the one to watch in these late-game team fights. Can she pick up the kill first? Can she push the enemy teams away? And, you know, against Alistair and Amumu, who are really going to want to jump onto her, if she can push them away and get safe, they'll be in really good shape.
Oh.
Cyanide FI just quit the game. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Dara's quitting out as well. Looks like we're going to go for a remake here. I'm not quite sure what happened, but it looks like we're going to be remaking this game. So hopping on out on that one. We're going to have a new game come up pretty soon. Same picks and bans and whatnot, but we're going to find out what that problem was and hop into the remade game when that comes up.
So, take two.
Take two. We seem to have that a lot, actually. We get a lot of take twos in our games.
Yeah, we're just the unlucky ones, it seems. Maybe that's my curse again.
The F, man.
Sorry.
What the F?
Sorry, freak. Can't do anything about it.
You're breaking my heart. Okay, so I'll talk a bit about the lineups. I like Fnatic's stun comp. So how about let's break it down by minutes. First 5 minutes, early laning. Who's got the better team there?
For me, Fnatic, as you mentioned there. If they were to meet early on, I mean, we see one thing you touched on yesterday is a lot of the North American teams generally go early out of the gates with the with the AD and AP characters, with boots and health potions, whereas the Europeans generally go for your Doran's ring, your Doran's blade. So that little bit earlier on, a little bit more health, a little bit more damage with the Fnatic side. I expect them to come out pretty much flying from this one from the start.
What about the early lane setups? That those next 5 minutes into the game, people start getting closer and closer to level 6. And you've got the back and forth play. Of course, those healing potions. When you go boost the potions, you have basically 600 free health worth of those consumables, and that'll get you pretty far into those lanes. Whereas the Doran's blade gives you the 100, and that's it. So how do you think those levels are going to play out?
Well, like you say, the potions are a more over time thing, but the earlier the Doran's blade, Doran's ring, going to allow Fnatic to maybe put that bit of pressure on at the lower levels, level 1s to 4 maybe. But obviously, as we start to move further on, there's going to be that little bit more gold possibly for. Did I spectate? Am I in the wrong game?
A different game out. Yeah, real quick. We're actually we're hosting this blind pick because again the players do know their picks and bans. They do know the champions are going to be played. So we're going to go into a blind pick game where they can lock in immediately and hop right on through on that. So Fnatic is in. Epik Gamer players are now joining as well. We've got 4 in from Epik, 5 in from Fnatic. Getting the spectators in as well pretty soon, and then we're going to kick this game off into the real game 1, the second best of 3, winner bracket semifinals number 2, and it's going to be hopefully as epic of a game. Of 3 games, fingers crossed, as we saw just a little bit ago against All Authority and Team Solo Mid.
I hope it's going to be a better one, to be honest.
I do too.
If that's even possible.
Oh,
but I'm sure it is.
It's possible. This is really a heavily looked forward to match. I don't know if that's even grammatically correct at all, but certainly I think this is a match that a lot of people wanted to see. I'm actually really glad to be casting this one. This is the one I really wanted to cast here because it's Fnatic back in full form. They already beat CLG. Now that was the 3rd seed from North America, so Epik should be better here, but Fnatic put on quite that show. And it's the only games we've seen of them since PK rejoined that lineup. So this is really going to be the big coming out party from Fnatic. Last time these teams fought, Epik did win that one, but they've now got something to prove with their new lineup, and it's going to be quite epic, ha ha ha, really funny. But also the players are talking back and forth. Different people getting on the computers. Some of the settings are getting changed around. So the players are going to go through and actually change some of their sound options real quick, make sure the controls are right. I was actually sitting behind Team Solo Mid in the second game between TSM and AAA, and I watched Reginald actually have to rebind some of his hotkeys where he didn't, set them up quite between the games, and was like, why am I self-casting my ultimate? I didn't mean to. And he went into the options menu, unbound one of those keys. Said, okay, I'm just gonna get rid of that one real quick. So, a little bit unfortunate there. I guess that's a lack of LAN experience to some extent, where they're not setting themselves up quite as well as they should. I personally just have my entire key bindings memorized. When you've got 8 different builds to play on internally, you've got to set up your keys for each one, so I know exactly the keys that I'm changing, the ones that I use. I even have to unbind the one for the vent hotkey. I have ridiculous amounts of extra key bindings and options to move around. There's things you kind of have to memorize when you go through and you play a lot in places more than just at home. I guess a kind of unique situation for me, but these players will come to learn that kind of stuff. I mean, I know coming from pro gaming, like you would just bring a tech doc with everything that you've ever changed. You just like drop it into the folder, or you would just come through and memorize. I actually took screenshots of my settings menu because I would play tournaments in Korea where it's all in Korean, and I don't read what those dialog boxes mean anymore. So I'm like, here's a screenshot. The third dialog box is going to be in the middle, and then the second option down is what I want to choose there, and then that radio button is going to be clicked. And you just have all these things ready because you never know what's going to get thrown at you. And you bring your own equipment, you memorize all your settings, you take screenshots of them at the very least, and that was part of the game. Is you would come into these with not preparations just of your strategies and of your skills, but of how to set yourself up like it were at home. That is one of the skills you have to learn. When you're basically away from home, when you're on someone else's computer, you've got to make that as much like what you're used to as you can. This happens in the real sports, the physical sports, soccer, football. I'm in Europe and just said soccer, sorry. Now I feel shameful. Football or American football. And you realize the grass, the dirt's not always exactly the same as you're used to. You've got to come prepared for the curveballs that get thrown at you when that happens.
I like the analogy actually.
Yeah. Thanks. Isn't it wonderful? I didn't even practice it. It just came off the top.
But your Korean analogy, I think you're a little bit lazy. You can also just learn Korean.
I could. You're right. I could learn to read Hangul, and that would help a little bit. But that's a lot of effort when I could be playing video games instead, and that's got me this far in life. So I'm kind of happy with the decisions that got made, to be honest. But
you can learn Korean later.
I could learn Korean later. You're right.
On the weekends when you've got your days off.
When I got my days off, but then I want to play the video game some more and get better at the game because now I'm actually kind of bad. I used to be ranked 1 on the ladder, and then I fell off because I got a real job, and that seems to cut into video game playing time. Weird that.
Yeah. Strange.
It is, but that's what happens when you start working. Even when it's your own game, sometimes work must get done.
The unfortunate life of Freak.
Oh, it's such a hardship. I mean, coming to tournaments, having to cast in front of hundreds of thousands, clearly such a hardship, but I do it for you. Okay, I'm done. Okay, really. Moving on, though, I'm now going to stop embarrassing myself in front of everybody. Players are getting closer and closer to being ready. They're going to go through and try to set their settings up properly. I'm going to go ahead and press this GG button real quick, just because I can. Didn't really pick up on stream, but I had to because they got to so many times that previous best of 3. It feels good to press that button, man. It does.
I'm surprised the batteries have lasted this long, actually.
That's true.
We've seen some great games this tournament, and we've used it a lot, but still going strong.
Happy about that.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
We do have some of the admins, obviously, that we have here in the tournament area over with the players, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be getting ready to start here in a little while. Actually, a lot of people as well have been asking us questions on the League of Legends forums.
I should pull that up.
We could go through that.
That's actually a great
While we have a
idea.
little bit of time.
Xenon's tea is still here and burning hot and just kind of sitting there. So you have to make sure that people... Actually, I guess you can pull them up on your one. I'm going to watch over here and make sure that players are getting ready. So Joe will pull up some questions that we're going to ask. If you would like to ask us questions, head to the League of Legends or eu.leagueoflegends.com board. There's going to be threads up about asking questions, or you can go ahead and tweet at RiotPendragon, at RiotTomat, at RiotFreak. You can pimp your own.
Joe_Miller.
There you go.
It's pretty simple.
Pound Esports, Pound League of Legends, ask a caster. If you want your questions answered, let us know. We will answer them. We do have some few minutes to kill, but stay tuned because the best of 3 will be coming on very, very soon. But in the meantime, who's got cool things to ask? Do you have a question for us yet?
We've got to find a thread first.
All right, well, he's going to find a thread. I'm going to go ahead and talk about something random. So, man, I really like Teemo. Teemo is such an excellent champion. He's impossibly cute. He blinds people. It's great. He's one of only, I think it's 2 champions left in the game who actually cast a blind, him and Heimerdinger. Those 2 Yordles almost never see competitive play, and I'm not sure why. Heimerdinger's got the awesome fro right there. It's curly and yellow, and it's amazing. He does head spins when you slash D. When you slash L, he jumps onto the ground and rolls around, and it's great because you can actually dance and laugh while Zhonya's. So, great, we are ready to go. But Heimerdinger, really cool because, when you put those turrets down and they try to attack you, you activate Zhonya's Hourglass, so you're trying to vulnerable so your turrets can fight, but then you can slash L, and so you go Zhonya's, and then you start rolling around on the ground laughing, and it's great because you can kind of grief the enemy team that way, flying around the map, and I think it's super awesome. And I think that's just really excellent. So the picks and bans are going on now. Of course, they've already been chosen. The players are grabbing their champions and locking in. We're going to be going underway into Game 1 pretty soon. We've got one more guy waiting to lock in. And then we're going to actually hit up a load screen after about 10 seconds after that. So your prediction was 2-0 for Epik. What's your real prediction?
That is my real prediction.
That's not your real prediction.
That's my real prediction.
No, you're not.
Serious.
No, you're doing that to troll me. What's your real prediction?
Seriously, 2-0 for Epic.
Okay, who do you want to win then?
Fnatic. That's why I said 2-0 for Epic. Because I've been literally wrong every single game.
So that's not your real prediction.
Yeah.
You're saying it just because you want to jinx Epic.
No. I don't have a favorite in this tournament. I'm completely unbiased.
If only all of us could be so strong.
I know.
That was a jab. Hurt right here.
It was just a joke.
Getting flamed by my own co-cast.
Well, I actually found the thread literally just as the loading screen came up, so at least we know where the thread is for later.
Well, I'm glad you were useful in the meantime.
Thank you very much.
I'm busy talking about how many doing head spins. You're like, I'm going to find... Oh, the load screen. I found a thread, quote unquote.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening to you. I just heard the odd word like Teemo and Blind and Heimerdinger and Curly Throw and head spins.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
This is the appropriate topic for discussion in a League of Legends cast. So yes, we did hit up to, I believe it was up to 190-something thousand viewers now. We really, really want to break that 200K mark.
We're going to have a party here when we hit 200,000,
yeah,
I heard.
If you know anyone who has a computer, just link them the URL. Let's just hit 200K, please. You're in the final best of 3 of the night. The second winner bracket semifinal here. Epic versus Fnatic. Crazy game. If they don't play League of Legends, they should, and this will teach them how. Best players in the game. Make them watch this. Let's break 200K. Let's break 500K. Let's just do it. Let's just somehow make that happen. A couple other fun numbers for the day, if you want to know about them. We hit almost 1 million yesterday. 950,000 unique people visited the stream. That is a lot of people.
Yeah, really great stuff, guys. It just shows how strong the League of Legends community is and how much everyone wants to watch these great teams play.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's super crazy awesome. Let's break 200K. Let's break 1 million. Let's make that one happen. Okay, guys? Please, for the love of Teemo, do it for Teemo. And I know everyone loves Teemo. He's with all of us. But I am actually following West Rice around the map right now. They're actually just going to camp in between themselves, in between their turrets right now on the screen.
Yeah, we can go in game,
actually, on the screen. But really, I'd love to see Captain Teemo walking around. But in light of that, we do have at least 2 Yordles in the game. Okay, round of applause to everyone in the audience. Round of applause to everyone at home. Second winner bracket semifinal going on now. Round of applause, everyone. Let's go into the game now. And wow, Epic, super scared right now. They are very afraid. Yes, I did say scared. Scared, because pirates. Okay, we'll assume. But yes, we do see Epic Gaming hiding around in the back of their jungle. I think they were hoping that they would get invaded upon and then get a gank off on the side. The Clairvoyance was watching pretty much every aggressive brush they could possibly have been in. But Damden going to pick up a wolf right there. He's going to get a little bit of help from Dyrus taking out this top camp. But ooh, yes, some fair aggression here from Fnatic. They're going to take down the Wraith camp fairly easily. A Clairvoyance goes down as well to make sure they didn't get picked up on. And that's going to be just fine for them. And here comes the pull from Jarvan. And yes, Dandin will be able to take this Golem down pretty safely there. The Consume goes off, 2 more attacks, and that will be the pickup. And okay, here we go. AP Alistar fighting, very obviously AP Swain. Malzahar versus Jarvan in mid. So we see a little bit of divergence now in the lineups as we have Mage versus Mage mid, but tanky DPS physical versus Mage top. So I guess you could call Alistar tanky DPS. He's kind of a tanky mage. He's kind of like Gragas. So he's still AP damage. So it's magic damage from Fnatic and physical damage from Epic.
Yeah, and Shushi's obviously at these lower levels probably going to be putting a lot of pressure down onto Swain. And up at the top lane, you can already see that PK has done exactly the same onto Dyrus, and as they both hit level 2. Down at the bottom, of course, it is Ashe versus Vayne. And pretty.
Dyrus pushing aggressively already with exhaust and the jump onto PK, but he's going to flash out of the way. He's going to be fine just there, putting down that silencing wall, going to make it out just fine. Dyrus, though, down to 2 health potions. The PK going to go through his as well. Looks like all the players have now spammed their summoners. Dyrus pushed down both. PK actually does still have Ignite, so if he gets to play aggressively a little bit later, he's got that roughly 100 damage now in his back pocket in case he needs it. Nunu actually going to come around and maybe find a gank for himself. And the flash is down, so this could be really, really bad for PK. And Dandin coming around. Dyrus is nearby as well. PK not with a... Oh, great silence going to keep him from getting slowed by Nunu. And yeah, he's going to make that escape just barely, and he's going to actually peel back right away.
Yeah, some nice early pushes going on there, and we're going to have to expect that. Obviously, Dandin going to have a push up at this top whenever he can, try to get that kill onto Malzahar as early as possible, give his teammate that advantage. In the middle, we saw Shushi actually constantly harassing Sals. And that seems to be working out quite nicely for him. We're going to see Jarvan up at the top getting a nice bit of free farm as those minions come in towards that turret range. We may see something down at bottom as well. We've got Cyanide sniffing around. No, he's decided to actually back away from that as a Clairvoyance goes right on top of him. So they know where Cyanide is. And actually, Dandin's going to come in aggressive onto him. And they're just going to go at it slowly, very slowly. Shushi's starting to work his way around, and Bandage toss in. And surely Dandin's just going to run away from this one. No, he's going to keep playing it hard, and in comes Vayne. This could be very, very bad for Fnatic. Cyanide will surely go down at this point. Yes, he will. It is Swain who takes first blood. Westrice is constantly putting the pressure onto Shushi as well, but can't quite get into him before he reaches that turret and gets to the safety. But first blood for Epik.
Wow, great opening there. And this, you know, I'm going to, you know, we talked about it the very first day. I do want to see Epik win, at the very least, just to see, you know, closer and closer to the NAEU finals. Really, the winner of the first game doesn't matter. All I'm really going to do is root for the loser of the first game in Game 2, and then Game 3. We'll see how it goes. I do kind of want to see NA push through and take a winner bracket final match. I want to see those lineups there, because I don't want to see, you know, one continent getting shoved out too early on. I mean, unfortunately, Southeast Asia did. I would have loved to see one of those teams at least hit a relegation match. Zan almost made it through, but Salse up to a great start right now, pushing through, actually getting Alistair back to his turret, and he's got that golem buff thanks to the kill on the jungler, and that's a wonderful advantage there. Shushi taking a ton of damage, but there comes the pulverize and the headbutt, pushing Salse into that turret range, but of course, there's so many minions to tank that. Almost the bandage toss in from Cyanide FI, pushing Salse lower and lower. Of course, he does not have a good way of getting health, but he's going to land the never move. And Cyanide FI down about half health, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, down bottom, a couple of pings going off, but it's fairly even down there. We see obviously Lamia, who's playing Ashe, up at level 4 already. Westrise can't be far behind that one as well. No, in fact, as I say, he actually dings, and Jarvan is dancing pilling.
I love that. Oh, Dyrus trolling everyone all the time. Bot lane damage up on a Melisande, so very low, but can't quite pick it up. Westrise has that lizard buff, and that did help him push down quite a lot. Lemmy's help pushing him back right now. Double F, though, will continue to completely sustain him on health, and as he gets one more heal in, Westrise can completely zone him. Right now, he could get bursted down, but now he should play completely aggressively. He should completely zone out Lamia right now, and he's not doing it. I think that's a mistake right there. Ashe should not get a single lick of experience right now if Westrise plays it correctly, and instead, Lamia is actually still managing the last hit, and I think he shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, and actually Westrise is going to be going back. And will we see double if follow? Probably not. Westrise decides against it. And he's going to hang on. We will see Janna coming back into lane for Fnatic here in just a second. And it was Soraka who actually went back for Epik. As you can see on the screen there, we had Cyanide just finishing off the walls before he goes home. He starts buying up. And actually we've got double Doran's ring already for double lift right off the start.
Wow, so double lift actually going for ability path. That's actually one of the cool things about the supports is normally you see, oh wait, hold on, a quick fight coming in from Dyrus versus PK, getting him down to about half health. PK should still have his ultimate and ignite, but Dyrus at full health is not going to be easy to kill. I think a full cover for PK would get him close to dead, especially if Dyrus' shield is down. Some more harass coming on there. Yeah, there we go. The Malefic Vision's going to hit Dyrus pretty hard. PK's got a decent cooldown, though, on that spell. It's, I believe, about 13 seconds right now. It's 7 plus 2 per level, so that's actually 11 then. So yeah, it's going to be a fairly moderate cooldown there. He's not going to be able to do a ton of damage to easily push down onto Dyrus, but certainly over time can wear him down and get him into a burst damage range. Salse's still going to keep out in mid with Golem buff, actually, which is just timed out now, is going to make him have to fight at his home turret, and that's going to mean a couple of missed last hits. And we're going to see if he can do anything with that. He's going to be able to pick up actually, missed actually a lot of these, actually. The turret's going to take almost all these last hits right there. That's a little bit unfortunate for Salse, only getting one of those 4. And yes, I am talking about last hits. Yes, this is still free casting about minion kills. Cyanide FI going to jump over to the Lizard camp right now, going to get Lizard for himself. Maybe he'll donate it over to Malzahar or Alistair. I doubt it, though. They're going to be less likely to gank. And a couple interesting things we see here is that Fnatic actually not using teleport on Malzahar as AAA did. It worked so well for them, I'm surprised that they're not copying that style because it gave them a good number of kills. But okay, here comes the burst onto Xuxe, getting rooted up by Dyrus and Saucy, and actually he whiffs the knock up there, but Xuxe could still go down. Dyrus takes it back to the face. Asher is going to block onto Saucy, and Xuxe actually staying alive, surprisingly, through all of that. I think it was the missed knock up from Dyrus that caused that, but here comes PK across the map. Dan Din going to get dropped down almost definitely. 1-1 now the kill score, bringing that back alive. 9.4 versus 9.2 thousand gold, almost equivalent right now. PK, though, with a golem buff, going to be pretty beautiful.
Oh, and Westrice almost being caught there by the bandage toss from Cyanide. Salsa is fairly low still, and with the two there, with Malzahar and Alistair around, he doesn't want to push in and get his heals off. He's actually used health potions to start working his way in. Ooh, PK just pulling the tower. Not what he wanted to do. And looks like they're going to dive in there. In comes the bandage toss. Yep, Salsa is going to go down. Is he? No, right now he's managing to survive. And it's going to be Cyanide that come and be in a little bit of trouble. We've got Jarvan chasing him down. In comes a nice move, though, from the cow to keep that one fairly good. And Dyrus and Dandin will both be out of that one. Nicely done.
A great ult from Mumu, just barely saving his team. And a great sounds coming out there as well. Going to help keep his team from getting slowed by Dan Din. And wow, I can't believe no one died there. There's so many low champions. Look at Malzahar at less than a bar of health. We got a couple of really low champions here as well. Dyrus very, very nearly died to that burst, but managed to heal up just barely. That Soraka with the wish, keeping him alive. And that's what I was talking about right before that gank happened up top. Is Soraka is one of those champions, the support champions, that actually benefit from ability power enough that you're going to go for it. In the NA finals, I saw a lot of not Doran's Wing, but Mass Cage pick on Soraka in those games, and just to give her the ability power, because her heals scale actually very significantly with AP, and that's the thing, right? We were actually seeing some of the players talk about how they wanted to keep Soraka down, because if she gets ability power, what we see Tarek and Sona and the last support, John, the main ones that we see, when they get farmed, they get more tanky. They usually build support items like Shirley's Reverie, maybe a Randuin's if they really get up there. But, their impact is still just, I knock someone up, whatever, my base spell damages and base spell abilities is what kicks it in for me. But Soraka actually scales incredibly well off of ability power, and those heals can really save people. With both her main heal with Astral Blessing and the Wish, her ultimate, those are giant AP ratios, and they give a lot of health back to single targets and the full team. And so Soraka really actually wants to farm and actually get a lot of gold. You can see that she's at 24 minion kills, which actually is not too shabby since Janna is still at 1. She's got the 2 Doran's rings, and ability power, like I said, really, really awesome on Soraka. And it does allow her those really great burst heals. So her going a bunch of Doran's rings, not surprising me at all. It really does allow her more impact in this game, so it's no surprise that they're actually letting her solo on bottom while they have basically everyone else roam around on the map right now.
Yeah, the minion kills up on that top lane not really working out for Jarvan. Actually, he's 49 to the 72 of Malzahar, who's obviously off to a good start. You see there a bit of pressure in that middle area from Xuxe, who will continue to just annoy Salsa, who will be able to heal up at any given opportunity at this point. Double lift stain at the back of the minion pack, and
Westrice back into the game. Yeah, he actually managed to DC for a couple of seconds. That's part of the reason why Soraka was soloing for so long. He actually managed to last hit pretty well with those banana throws for the basic attack. And here comes an Asher across the map. Will it land onto Saucy? No, it will not, but the ping has gone out. They know that Dyrus should know about this. Oh, that was close. It would have been cool if Malzahar actually predicted where the arrow would go and stun him when he was in range of that one, but I think Dyrus stayed out of range enough. And he's actually going to push onto XPK, but jumps right into a giant burst combo, and he is down to about a quarter health. The silence will hit, the ignite still ticking away, but he might survive this. Malefic Vision's doing some pretty good damage. Now in the mid lane, Xuxe going to stun away these people, has popped his ultimate as well, so he's going to keep himself alive right there. Has golem buffs, so plenty of mana to spam those heals onto himself. The 2 Doran's rings and the ability power going to make him hard to push around.
Yeah, nicely done by Xuxe, and also PK obviously up on this top lane, who is taking all the damage there, as we may see something on the bottom. No, I'm not sure what PK was doing there, why he kept that tower damage coming in onto him. I mean, obviously wanted to do it. There's a lot of minions on that tower. It's not going to go down to that push, but either way. And Westrice just putting out a bit of annoyance onto Ashe. But Fnatic, of course, are in and are doing Dragon already. We're going to have Ashe coming in to support. I'm not sure it doesn't look, to be honest, like Epik even have a clue about this. Okay, so they've pinged in there. There were no wards in the immediate area as far as I can see from Epik, so that's something that they should probably be really trying to work out. I mean, if you look at the Fog of War in terms of Fnatic's view, they've got a really great bit of ward vision going on across the whole river area.
Yeah, they got the one over by Baron, which will spawn in about a minute and a half. They've got two covering the bottom jungle. Oh, never mind. I actually thought, yeah, the ward also spots Epik moving around in that jungle over there. We look over at Epik though. Their ward control not too great. They got a couple of aggressive ones here, but here comes a gank in from Alistar, and just a great prediction arrow there on the double lift. He's going to get stunned out, but he's already flashed over the wall. He is going to be safe. Salsi put out a root right there just in case someone wanted to flash over, but that did not happen, so they're all pretty safe so far. Salsi's going to continue to last hit. Getting headbutt pulverized, though, right away by Alistar. Some pretty good damage there. Alistar with 51 ability power doing some pretty decent damage on his spells. And Epik, they're going to start farming now. Westrice back into the game, going to try to catch up in minion kills. Unfortunately, down by about 40 on this Ashe. That is quite unfortunate, though he does have the assist there. And here comes the gank in from Silent FI, and the damage output on Dyrus is pretty immense, jumping into that Malzahar spell combo, but not enough damage is done. They managed to chain their CCs together, which meant that Dyrus really didn't take the entirety of the pool duration there, that null zone. He actually managed to jump out of it at the end there, so Dyrus kept himself alive, did burn Flash to get out a little bit faster, but Fnatic will get the first turret kill of the game now. The top turret will go down. That 2v1 gank did give them that potential. And now Fnatic in a actually fairly decent advantage now by 2,500 gold.
Yeah, it's a nice start from Fnatic. Obviously, scoreline still 1-1 as Westrice puts out that little bit of aggression on bottom. Will back away now. Double Lift actually started to pill back home there for a second, but yeah, there we go. He's going to finish that one off, so he'll be going back to buy something else to add to his couple of Dawn's rings, at which he bought that lot earlier on. Just looking at the minion kills down at the bottom, it's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. 57 for Vayne and 118 for Ashe.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate for Westrice there. It looks like XP are going to come around. They're going to find Dan Din doing Golem. The Clairvoyance does reveal that they're getting spotted, and Shushu is going to do a pretty good job taking this one over. They do know that Dyrus is coming back now. As a 2v2 here on this Golem still. There is no smite here from Fnatic, so Epik has a really good chance here of taking this one over. It's pretty hard to outsmite Nunu, who can consume into smite. And yeah, it's just that true damage combo is massive, and he will pick up the Golem buff. He's going to finish out the rest of these little mini lizards here, who are the support units for that Golem. Going to pick those up, 10 gold apiece, and he's going to be fine right there. Crisis averted. They did not get ganked. They did not lose that buff. Shush is still pushing around onto Salsi. He's got the blasting one now, so 91 AP. Going to be nice for that Alistar.
Yep, Soraka hanging around in that middle area, just giving a little bit of support to Salsi. There are 2, 3 almost around that middle area. Obviously, Cyanide is there as well. The aggressive ward have spotted that PK and Cyanide are moving around that area, and they have pinged Dan Din as well. The ward right next to him.
Yeah, they could have gone for a jump there.
Interesting.
Malzahar's ult was up. I really think they could have gone for a flash grab on him. I mean, the thing is, he is...
always out of position. Terribly. Dan Din is in some real trouble right now. And surely he's going to go down. 3 versus 1. There's nothing that Dan Din can do. And he thought he was safe. He had that ward there. What he didn't know is that the Fnatic ward was in the bush that he was waiting in before that.
Yeah, they didn't know he was there. And that was a really good coordinated effort by Fnatic, ending up picking that one up quite nicely. And actually a little bit of fight coming on between Westrice and Melisson. And Lamiazel has come in from the back. Westrice not in great shape. Will flash back into range. He's going to drop. Oh, he's going to stun Lamiazel at first, but he is going to go down. Ashe picking that one up pretty comfortably. Already has a Bloodthirster in the inventory. That is pretty powerful. 3-1 right now. Fnatic in quite the advantage.
Yeah, and that's going to set Westrice back even further. I mean, 75 to 135, pretty much double the amount of farm from Lamia, and actually they're going to push in onto Double Lift, who is in a whole host of trouble. Does get exhausted, did flash away though, and now we're going to see Nunu push in. What can he do? Ulti is popped, and there was the ulti back from Melissan, and that's what you were talking about a little bit earlier on. Fnatic, with their crowd control abilities, this Nunu ultimate is going to be very difficult to actually get off in an effective position, and we are seeing now also 2 down from this middle area. We will see Alistar and Amumu move in, but Epik aren't going to fall for it. They're going to push back, but we will see a tower push coming, I think, from Fnatic now.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty big deal. Fnatic in a 4v3 down here. Looks like Jarvan will stay top. Salsi is going to come in from the base, but it's going to be too little too late. Fnatic has a really good chance of this turret right now. Looks like Epik will not stop them in time. I don't know why Dandin is coming in there. It's a 1v4 at this point. He's going to drop down almost immediately. Still taking heals from the Soraka, actually. Maybe she can keep him alive, but the cooldown will not come up in time. SilentFI will pick up the kill there. Shusha getting blocked into a wall, but they're not going to keep chasing through. Jarvan staying top, and actually with no summoner teleports, he could get a turret out of this. He's actually going to go ahead and keep spamming down. A minion will actually kill the turret in mid, though. So now that's, look at that, 3 turrets to 0. All the 3 out of turrets have been dropped down. Dyrus not going to push through here. Malzahar is close by. Doesn't have a ton of ability power just yet. Only the Rod of Ages. So Dyrus will pull away and not die. Will pull out a couple of these jungle mobs. That's cool for him. But actually about to get caught by PK. Will jump across the wall. He'll be fine. And now it's back to Westrice to farm bottom lane. And that should be pretty safe, actually, as everyone has retreated.
Yeah, in terms of items, Ash obviously is a long, long way ahead of Vayne as well. So that's going to be something that Epik really have to sort out before we get into, you know, a little bit later phase of the game and they start going in those team fights, because right now they don't have much of a chance.
Yeah,
hold on to that one.
5,000 gold and going for their second dragon now. Up 3 turrets to 0, about to be 2 dragons to 0, 4 kills to 1 as well. The farm advantage, 3 of them above 100. Only 1 from Epik is actually above that mark. And Ashley arrow across the map will actually whiff everyone, but it's not really a big deal. They will get dragon regardless. They're going to be safe there. And they might actually come back in for a team fight here. It looks like the wards are up. They do know that that's been warded right there. Melisson will come in with the oracles. SilentFI will get the last hit there, 25 gold in tow. And here comes the lizard buff, maybe in for Epik. They're actually retreating now. Dandin will ping spam, that's the word I was looking for, onto that. But Fnatic looking to push mid, maybe. Ashe is soloing bottom, but the rest of them looking pretty aggressive here. They have a lot of burst damage and a lot of crowd control if they do go for this.
Yeah, I think they're just going to go running straight in for this one. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. And they're down to about half HP. Melisson is actually going to get caught. Manages to flash away from the situation. Westrice is going to be focused down by Shushi, but Fnatic need to be careful now. The rest of Epik are moving in from behind, but it looks like they are going to go in for this one. Shushi falling a little bit low, but the pressure is going in. Dandin is also very low, and that was a great flash from Shushi. Dandin maybe will get away from this one. He does have an ignite on him, does go down. Westrice is now the focus of the Fnatic attention. He's going to be absolutely obliterated as Dyrus comes diving in with Jarvan, and they're going to focus straight in. He did drop his ulti down. He's also got that ignite on him, and surely they will finish it off. Yes, they will. That's a great fight from Fnatic so far. It's not over yet. Obviously, once this next wave of minions comes up, they're going to be pushing heavily onto this mid tower.
Yeah, and they might actually be pushing towards Baron right now, or at least the enemy, the jungle right there. Looks like the Banish House comes across. They were looking for Golem, but it is not yet up. And there it is, that second. So, wow, good timing on those buffs. They're going to pick up Golem for themselves. Probably put that on PK, maybe onto Shushay, but it actually is going to be Shushay. He's going to pick up the Golem buff, so low cooldowns on that cow. It's going to be nice for him. There's Ashe, you can see, farming around in mid, has the Zeal, has the Berserker Greaves, and the Bloodthirster, so she's going to put out a lot of damage per attack. It's going to be very, very powerful.
Yeah, Ashe a real big threat. And the score, obviously, in terms of kills, 7-1, 8,000 gold more for Fnatic at this point of the game. With only 20 minutes gone, basically.
Yeah, Fnatic in a really, really great position right now. They're going to last at these minions pretty well on Salsi, but you know, it's Doublelift just staying at bottom, going to spam down what he can. Looks like he's not actually learned any points into Astral or the Star Call, rather. He's going to last hit these minions with his banana throws. He's going to do all right there. Alistair still farming around in the jungle as well, so everyone really on Fnatic just clearing out for as much gold as they can get. Westrice still trying to farm out, trying to catch up to Ashe. Pretty close to getting Bloodthirster. Once she has that, she'll be pretty much caught up. Zeal is nice, but not required for damage output. Really just Westrice needs to finish that first big item, and she'll be in good shape. She does scale better than Ashe, though, so as this game goes on, she'll start to catch up more and more and become more of a threat. Really, Ashe just has that rank 1 arrow, well, rank 2 arrow by now, but as soon as she has level 6, she has all the utility she needs for the team, and just slowly but surely starts scaling down from there, whereas Westrice will continue to scale up on Vayne and do more and more damage and start outstripping Ashe's role as a ranged AD champion. So the longer they can pull this game, the better the chance is for Epik. They have not lost too many buildings. They have not killed a turret yet, but they've only lost 3. Though they are down by quite a lot, they can still wait across this game. Soraka will gain stronger and stronger heals. Dyrus will get more and more tanking. They have a really good shot, though, if they can stay up in this game.
Right now, Fnatic over in the Epik jungle on that bottom side. Not much around there, but they are placing those wards, just getting a very nice bit of map vision. We do have somewhat of a push down on bottom. Actually, we did see there Sushi catching Dan Din by surprise. I guess he didn't know that. We are going to see a push inside of middle as well. West Rice is completely out of position there, trying to push that mid turret. And he's going to fall very, very easily once again. 0-3-1, not really having the best game of his life, but we are seeing a push from Epik now. Let's see what they can do. Focus, is it going to be Sushi or is it going to be Cyanide? They don't really care. They're going to push in, actually. Ulti, of course, is out there from Nunu. We've seen South drop down low. There's the ultimate from Amumu, and Sushi's going to wait. Somehow, Cyanide got away from that one. Not quite enough to survive, but here come the rest of Fnatic. Soraka, surely the focus, first of all. She should fall very quickly to these three, and they've actually decided to focus down on Dan Din as well. Exhaust is on him. Finally, Soraka was dealt with, and I think Dan Din is going to go down. Surely they'll be able to catch up with him here, and there we go. Sushi will finish it off, and it is 3 down for Epik, 1 down for Fnatic. And West Rice is going to charge in here, but he's not going to be able to do anything against these three. And they're going to focus him again. And West Rice is dead, alive, dead, like that.
Wow, ouch, yeah. Fnatic doing a great job of those fights. Over in the top, we actually saw Fnatic x PK dueling against Dyrus, winning that one pretty handedly. Look at him just pushing down onto this turret. All the turrets are going down right now against Epik Gaming, and they're just doing a wonderful job right now. Just beautiful play from all these champions. PK 5-0-1, AP Alistair 3-0-6. Those are pretty much the star players for this game. Ash, of course, doing well additionally with these arrows, but I really think it's really handed to the AP players who are locking up the right champions and dealing tons and tons of burst damage, getting these kills before anyone can really react. And PK actually building quite tanky on Malzahar, going 3-0-4 with a ton of, or not 3-0-4, sorry, getting, I don't know what that was from actually, getting a ton of health items with Riley's Crystal Scepter and Rod of Ages, so getting those AP items that start with R, and it's working quite well. Salsi trying to keep up, has gone Mercury Treads and then a fast Void Staff, not going for any heavy AP items, but actually going for resistance breaking, as I guess he was very worried about magic resist from this Fnatic team.
And we've got Melisande just clearing out wards up by Baron, and that's probably on the cards here very shortly for Fnatic. And all those wards are going to be taken away. Only one still up is actually where Fnatic are right now. And I guess they're going to go take themselves a dragon. And they're 11,000 gold in the lead.
Oh, wow.
12-2 in kills, 5-0 in turrets. It's just not looking good whatsoever for Epik.
Yeah, this game is looking really great for Fnatic. At this point, they're basically going to get farther and farther ahead. The champions basically have gotten too many levels, and they're too durable right now. Level 15 and 16 in the top two. There are two 15s from Epik, but the rest of the team, though, the lowest level they have is 11. And that's just pretty telling. But the Asher is going to hit Dyrus, and they're going to jump in on there. He will get a perfect flash. They're going to keep him from getting killed by the giant burst combo that Fnatic could have pushed on to that team. So Dyrus will be safe, but his flash is down. And we're going to see if Epik can actually manage to do something now with the rest of this fight. West Rice has finished Bloodthirster, and that's the big damage that he really needed. Now, if Epik can play this one correctly, they do have good CC, they do have good zoning. And they are going to catch Dyrus in there. He's playing kind of by himself. He's not singed. He's playing a little bit too aggressively. He's going to catch a nice heal from Soraka. And now, who's it going to be who's going to take the focus? Looks like Dan Din is in the front. Dyrus actually jumping out of Lamia Zealot. Will they keep going onto this? He will ult as well, but really no one else from Epik is nearby. So Dyrus will go down by himself while Dan Din is also finally showing up. Dyrus actually keeping himself alive somehow. Soraka will pop that wish in there, but Salsi looks like he's going to be taking a death right here. Will get picked up. Dan Din trying to run away, and West Rice actually getting zoned out by Alistair, and Alistair does pick up that kill pretty much by himself. So 2 deaths from Epik, nothing picked up against Fnatic, and Fnatic could go for the 5v3 Baron attempt, and they are actually going in there. Cyanide taking a shield, turning on Despair, and doing some pretty good damage as the rest of his team shows up.
Yeah, no reason now for Fnatic to be worried about taking this Baron. And Epik are going to have a massive task on their hands if they want to stay into this first game. If you just join us, don't forget, we are in the upper bracket, the playoffs, and it is best of 3. So now this is just game 1. We will definitely have another game, and as we mentioned earlier, hopefully a game 3. But no, it's not quite over until until it's over, let's say, until the fat lady sings.
Indeed. So Fnatic just in such wonderful shape. 14,000 gold up now, 50% ahead. And when we saw that from Fnatic last time, the game was over. And that seems to be what Fnatic does against these US teams. Now 3 times in a row, they start slowly building that advantage, building it over and over and over, and then suddenly they're just like skyrocketing ahead. They force these team fights that are such advantages for them. In front of Baron, in front of turrets, and they just have so much more gold now. Everyone on the team just incredibly farmed. That's Fnatic just playing a wonderful game right there. Tantamount to art right there, and they're just crushing faces as this goes on. Epik still going to try to farm out there. Westrice breaking 120 minion kills, going to catch up a little bit over time into this fight, but I don't know if it's going to be too little too late. Every time we've seen that gold advantage really break away by that much of a margin, it's been pretty much a free win there, so that could just be scary. Epik, though, of course, still has a chance to go through in this. It is a best of 3, so even if Epik loses here, they can push through and win those next 2 games to push on. And so far, Joe, your pick is going pretty well so far. Epik is going to lose that first game most likely. They still have a shot, but it's a long one. But hopefully they can bring back the game 2 if this does, in fact, go for a loss.
Yep, and right now, obviously, Fnatic starting to put pressure on this mid tower. Yeah, and Epik are just going to let that one go. It was down below half HP anyway, so we'll see if Fnatic continue to push. I can't see any reason why not. There's plenty of minions in there with them as well, and they are just going to nail themselves in. We actually see Dandin start his ulti off onto Shushi, and it's hardly doing any damage to him, actually. And this is surely not going to go well for Epik once again. Dandin is very, very low. Ulti comes in from Cyanide, and we see double flashes out. Salsei is super low. Actually, I'm not sure how he even survived at the end of that one. There goes Dandin. Obviously, Westrice down a lot earlier on as well. Jarvan is dead, and this surely Fnatic are just going to push straight through and get the victory.
Yeah, I think they have a really great chance here at this final push. They've killed 3 members, and there's actually the surrender vote as well. The first game will go to Fnatic, and Epik must try to keep themselves alive throughout this tournament. But congratulations to them. The victory screen has come on through. And that was really glorious play by Fnatic. They've gotten themselves the 1-0 lead in this so far. And big props to them. They have come back strong since the 1-2 showing yesterday in the group stage. Now 3-0 on the day, about to maybe even chalk up their second 2-0 victory versus the North American teams.
They only lost 2 kills in that one. I think we've seen Fnatic, was it against CLG? They only lost 2 kills as well.
Yeah, they're putting on a clinic right now. They really, really are. They're playing wonderfully today.
And if we just take a little bit of a look down the scoreboard, Westrice 0-6-1, Dandin 0-6-2. I felt Dandin was out of position quite a lot during that game. We saw him at least 2, maybe 3 times, pushing that little bit too aggressive, going back towards a fight that realistically you probably never would have done. And I think Epik just generally getting off to a slow start. I mean, let's not forget, Epik finished first in the group. They didn't play today whatsoever.
Yeah.
Or, they probably had warm-up games, but they've not played a tournament game today.
Yeah,
Fnatic, however, have played, a very important warm-up game, the relegation game. And they managed to 2-0 CLG. So they've had that little bit of extra time to warm up. Obviously, the momentum coming through, you can see how happy and confident Fnatic are.
Yeah.
And that looked almost too easy for Fnatic, in my opinion.
Yeah, they really, really put on a clinic. They played such a wonderful game. PK never dying. Really, all it was the jungler. And really, it's Amu's goal, or not goal, but more his role to be the one to soak up the damage and take those deaths. Everyone else in that team is either ranged or really, damage-based. So, you can say, oh, well, it's okay for Alistar to die. Well, but his AP Alistar, his goal is actually to stay alive and churn out damage in those fights. So, the deaths they did get were on the right champions, I guess. Even though he did feed Golem up to Salsei early on, Fnatic ultimately played an extremely competent game. Every one of their lanes did amazingly, and they really deserved to win that game. On the other hand, Epik did lose. They only got 2 kills, but at the same time, they played it right. They were behind. They didn't play scared. You talked about Dan didn't being out of position. He absolutely was. He got picked off a couple times where he shouldn't have been, but they had to have played aggressively. You look at the champions they've got, right? Nunu and Jarvan, who really do want to jump into those fights and deal damage. If you play scared of those champions, you're never going to get anything done. Now, yeah, they really never picked anything up in those team fights. They happen to lose every fight. But realistically, it was because they were so far behind already, they couldn't get it going. They were behind on turrets and dragons the entire game, so everyone on Fnatic was more farmed than them. But, the mindset was correct. You can't play scared. If you play scared, you end up getting into really bad positions where, when we had the post-game interviews of Game versus CLG, Game said, we played scared and defensive, and that's not our play style. We shouldn't have done that. I don't know why we did, but we didn't get any kills because of that playstyle, where we never really pressed any advantages we had. We never even pressed in to take any kills when they were available to us, and all we did was get run over. Now, when they played aggressively, of course, Epik did get run over, but you can never really play scared. That will never get you kills. The players here are good enough and amazing, in fact, that if you play defensively, you won't get kills because they're not going to give you free fights. They're not going to jump in and say, we're going to lose this one, but we'll fight anyway. They're not going to give you those free fights, so you really have to take those advantages when they're there. You have to take those aggressive pushes when the enemy team's not ready for you. But I think what ultimately happened was all of Epik wasn't ready for them. We saw the one team fight right around Baron, where Nunu and Jarvan jumped in, and Vayne got zoned out by Alistar, and we didn't really ever see any of the rest of that team there. Salsi tried to jump in as well, but Soraka wasn't really there to lend the helping hand quite as strongly. Vayne not able to get babysat properly. Okay, so we have 194,000 people on the stream right now. Thank you all for showing up. This is wonderful to have such a huge audience. People in front haven't even left their seats yet for the most part. There are a ton of you here.
Yeah. On their PCs here.
Yeah. Everyone at DreamHack, if you turn your PCs onto the stream, we're going to break that 200K mark. Everyone who's watching online, look down your buddy list and whatever IM client you use. Look at your buddy list on League of Legends. Tell them to watch this stream. The link is right there in the client. Just tell them to click that guy, because I would love to break that 200K mark. That would be amazing. And that's just a wonderful metric to see. So fingers crossed for that one. Still hoping for that 200K mark. But wow, these games are phenomenal, aren't they? They really are.
I mean, I expected... I don't want to put Epik down from that one. I mean, I expected a closer game, to be honest, in the first matchup. Maybe now we've got that bit of pressure on Epik. They have to win 2 in a row. So they've got some real pressure on their back. Hopefully Epik can now, kind of shake each other and say, okay, guys, come on. Let's think about this. Let's calm down. Let's do it how we know we actually can, because they've beaten Fnatic already in this tournament.
And they definitely know how to. In the interviews with some of the other players, a lot of them did expect Epik to come through and win this. Some predicted teams a little bit as well, and they barely lost out to Against All Authority. But Epik was one of the predicted winners here from a lot of these players. So I think they have a really good chance at this one. Looks like Fnatic will take over the first pick in this game, as we're basically going to go alternate back and forth. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if we're doing alternate or losers pick. We're going to find that one out in the near future. But spectators are in the game. 7 of the 10 players are into the game as well. And so what do you think is going to go differently here? What do you think they're going to do to try to win this game?
They have to change their whole mentality, I think. They're not feeling good right now. There's no way that Epik are feeling confident about this game. I mean, the guy, I'm not sure exactly who's, the captain of Epik.
Dan.
Dan is the captain. Yeah. Of course he is.
Of course he is.
He's now got to say, okay, guys, sort it out. He has to really show why he is the captain and why he's the leader of this team, because when you get, let's be quite frank, destroyed in a game like that, at this stage of the tournament, you have to motivate your players. You have to get them back into the roles that they should be pulling off. So, hopefully you can do that in the little break that we've got here. The bans and picks will be coming up as soon as we have 10 players. The question is, can Epik turn it around? They need those 2 matches in a row. We're going to be finding out here very, very shortly if Epik can come back in this game, or whether Fnatic will 2-0 it and move through into the upper bracket final to play against All Authority. And we shall see you after this quick commercial break.
Summoners from around the world are flocking to Facebook and Twitter to talk about the Season 1 Championship right now. We're live tweeting the event and giving away the exclusive Viking Tryndamere skin all weekend. To find out how, follow Riot Pendragon and Riot Tammet for details.